Hi witches! So today we are moving on from shadow work, kind of, and moving into our next topic, which is witchcraft and self-care. So today we're talking about the intersection of shadow work and self-care and why it's good to practice both at the same time. So in my practice, I like to balance like the dark and the light and like the intense and the gentle. So I think it's really good to have that balance in one's craft as well. Again, as always, your practice is your own. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. To me, mental health across the board is number one, and you gotta look out for yourself no matter what. So as always, seek therapy if you feel you need to. But trauma is really real, and when we are confronting it on such an intense level, it is also good to balance that out by like being nice to ourselves. Otherwise, we're just gonna like dig ourselves into this hole and it's not gonna be fun. And witchcraft isn't supposed to be this horrible, like god-awful thing. It's supposed to be fun. I think that a huge part of witchcraft and the reason that a lot of people turn to witchcraft is to seek that healing. And yes, there are definitely times where it is good to kind of like break open the exterior and figure out like what's going on under the hood, I guess, is like the term. But it's also good to like heal that. Like we gotta remember that too. So shadow work and self-care are both like really great avenues for you to practice witchcraft. They're great avenues for you to start to work with your deities and establish dialogues in terms of like addressing your trauma, but also like resting and learning and working on yourself. Practices are great avenues for you to practice your own spellcraft with like little to no like exterior like danger or risk. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, what if this backfires? But you know, doing a small spell to help with shadow work or for helping with self-care, probably not a lot of stuff gonna backfire on you. Like I've never had a bad experience with that kind of stuff. Like there's nothing in the grand scheme of things that could possibly go wrong. In my opinion, at least. I think they're pretty like safe avenues or things to work on if you are looking to practice spellcraft. Additionally, both shadow work and acts of self-care allow you to work on divination and your divinatory skills. So by doing tarot to do shadow work, by doing a tarot spread to learn more about like a concept and how to work through it and what you are dealing with. Like by doing a tarot spread to understand that a little bit deeper, you totally can. Whereas with self-care, for me, one of the things I really like to do is study. So like by studying the tarot and learning different theory on how to approach it, different techniques, different spreads, that to me is really relaxing. So that's how I see self-care through divination, if that makes sense. Another thing I want to mention is the lunar cycle. And if you're a witch who really likes to work and align their energies with the lunar cycle, doing shadow work, which is an active magic, it's an active practice during the waxing phase of the lunar cycle like we have done this month, is fantastic. But I feel like it needs to be balanced in the second half of the month with that rest that the waning moon definitely lends energy towards. Does that make sense? So by embracing these periods of rest, it not only allows us to reflect and think about what we have learned through our shadow work and through confronting these hard truths about ourselves, it gives us a chance to breathe, first of all, so we're not just like, oh my God. But it also gives us time to be introspective and to learn from that, because I feel like sometimes if you're just like constantly doing something, you're like really in it and don't kind of like zoom out to look at the entirety of it, it's easy to lose focus or feel like you're not advancing as quickly as you may want to. So taking periods of rest, I think, is really fantastic, and lining things up with the moon, I mean, I love it. So that is why we're doing things the way we are on my channel. In addition, right now is the dark half of the year. So we experienced through this year the return to life, this like period of like in February, like do you know what I mean? Like the return of spring. And we had this period of like abundance and expansion, and like all of this stuff was happening. We were super duper active. We did spell work, we did deity work, we did all sorts of good stuff this year. But now it's like time to kind of like start to draw things together. I know this project's coming to a close. It makes me really sad. But kind of like take a step back, reflect on what we've done and what we've accomplished together so far this year, and start to allow ourselves to kind of relax a little bit, I guess, and really start that healing process, I think. Something very meaningful to me in my practice about this idea of being kind of like reborn in the dark in order to come into the light in spring. And that's really what I'm focusing on right now. So I'm doing a lot of like internal work. I'm doing a lot of like rest and rejuvenation in order to make sure that I'm not too burned out for the spring, when I'm gonna be like really wanting to, do all sorts of projects and everything like that, when my inspiration is a little bit more like there. So yes, with shadow work and all of the amazing work we've done, it is also time to treat ourselves kindly and take care of ourselves and heal. So I hope this helps you guys and makes you think about maybe your personal relationship with rest, with self-care, and what you guys can be doing, and also to recognize all the amazing work you've done already this month. So I'm super proud of you guys as always, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.